everybody, my name is Michelle and in this video I'm going to compare Dutch book covers to the original English book covers. So I have done videos like this, I believe a couple of times before, but that has been quite a while. But at the time I feel like you guys really seem to like those videos, so I thought it was very much time for an updated version. Because in case you do not know, I am Dutch, I live in the Netherlands, and sometimes when books are being translated into Dutch they get a brand new cover, something completely different. And in this video I'm going to show you some of those Dutch book covers and compare them to the original UK or US cover. Usually it's the UK cover, I think, because I'm just going to use the book edition and the cover that I own, and that's usually the UK edition. And I have to say that finding books for this video wasn't that easy, because most of the time Dutch editions keep the same book covers as the original English editions. I think publishers think that it makes the book more recognizable, which is very much true, of course. But I still managed to find a couple of books where the book covers were changed, and yeah, I am going to show them to you today. So I feel like I should just start with this video and compare some of the Dutch book covers that I found to the original UK or US book covers. I'm going to start with a book that is very popular and talked about right now because of the recent Netflix adaptation, and that is Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo. So I think this is a US edition, but I feel like the UK edition is also the same cover, and this is what it looks like. It's very shiny. Apologies, that's with like my ring light. Maybe not the best combination, but this is the new Dutch edition. So when I was researching books for this video, I discovered that the Dutch editions of Shadow and Bone have new covers, because it definitely wasn't the case when I was doing a video like this, I think maybe 2 or 3 years ago. But they have brand new book covers, and I don't know if it is specifically because of the Netflix adaptation or if they were there before, but anyway, they have changed, and I have to say that I really like these Dutch editions. I will show you the second and third book in a minute, but first of all, let's take a look at the first one, Shadow and Bone. In Dutch it is called De Grisha, Grim en Schaduw, which is, I guess, the same. It's like, well, not really the same. Schim maybe means more like also shadow, I don't know. If I'm looking down, it's because I have the cover here on my phone, so I can compare them. But yeah, they are also color coordinated as with the original cover, but it is in different covers. So yeah, the original, or it's not even the original, this is also a change of cover. The original was different back in the day, but this one, it is like blue themed, it has golden illustrations on it, and it also has the central theme of a stag, which is very much important to the story. The Dutch book cover has the same, but it also has Alina on it, and it is less, I guess, doodles around it. It is very much the centerpiece of Alina and then the stag and some illustrations attached to it. But apart from that, like here, there's like illustrations and things all over, and with this one there isn't. Also, there's a very annoying Netflix sticker on the Dutch edition. I feel like they're also on the English editions right now, which is just, please don't do that. Just please do not do that. It's so annoying when books have permanent stickers on them. But yeah, this is the first book, and that is Shadow and Bone, and the Dutch edition, again, as you can see. And then we have the second book in English. It is Siege and Storm, and in Dutch it is called Dreiging en Duisternis, and it has a blue theme. Dreiging en Duisternis doesn't really mean siege and storm, it means threats and darkness, but it also is like with the same, like it's alliterating, so I guess that they're going for the same theme when it comes to translating the titles, which I feel is better than translating titles directly, because that does not always work. And I think I like the second Dutch cover better than the first one, because I just like the color better. I'm more of a fan of the bluish tint, and yeah, it is also, it's very much the same style. It's again Alina in the middle and then some details from the book surrounding it. Also very pretty, but of course I'm also a big fan of the original, or like not the original, this is also a new cover, but of this English cover. So again, both are beautiful. And then we have the final one, which is Ruin and Rising in the English edition, and it's called Val en Verlossing in the Dutch edition, as you can see here. This one has a purple tint, and I feel like it very much matches the English edition because this one is like reddish, that one is purplish. And again, I think the Dutch edition is very pretty. Also, val and verlossing means like fall and freedom. No, that's not really correctly translated, but again, it alliterates and I see what they're going for. And again, same style for all of the books in the series, and this one is also very pretty because again, I like the colors very much and the golden details on it, but I also really like the English edition. So if I have to choose, I wouldn't really know what to say because I feel like thematically they are very like much consistent with each other, and I think the Dutch editions, these new ones, are very pretty, but the English editions, like this set, is also one that has a special place in my heart because I really love these details and just everything about it. So I feel like it's more of a tie because they're doing different things and I think both of them are very beautiful. Mostly I'm just very happy that finally there's like a young adult book series that has a fun new cover in the Dutch editions, because that doesn't really happen that often anymore, as I mentioned before. But in this case there are new editions. So yeah, Shadow and Bone, many people are reading it right now. I am also rereading the entire series, so very exciting that there are new covers to talk about. So we had an entire book series, but now back to another cover, and the one I'm going to compare is the cover of the Nightingale by Kristen Hanna. So this is the English edition, and then here you can see the Dutch edition. I think it is very easy to say that in this case the English edition is so much better because the Dutch edition just isn't all that great. In Dutch it is called the Nightingale, which is again very much the same thing as the Nightingale. It's just a literal translation. But the Dutch edition just has, I guess, the two sisters, the two main characters of the Nightingale on the cover, and then at a fence, which is kind of weird and there's really nothing much about it. A lot of Dutch editions do this, and you're going to see it in a couple of other covers in this video, but they just show a picture of a person in just a random background that is slightly relating to the story, but there's nothing aesthetically pleasing about it whatsoever. And then we have the English edition, which is so pretty. It has like a nightingale illustration, it has a beautiful blue color, the spine is pretty, it's just so pleasant to look at. And the Dutch edition has nothing special, and I feel that's a bit of a shame because I feel a cover like this doesn't really draw that much attention to it, but maybe that's just me. Overall, I very much think that the English edition wins this round, if that's what we're doing, if we're making this into a battle. Mostly because the Nightingale is still one of my favorite books, and the English edition, it's so pretty, and the Dutch edition just has nothing special. Then the next book I have is one that I have not read yet, but I do own a copy, and that is The Fountains of Silence by Ruta Sepetys. This is the English cover, and then over here you can see the Dutch cover. In Dutch the book is called Stilte heeft een eigen stem, which means silence has its own voice, which I think is sort of a, you know, okay title. But again, this book has the same sort of flaw where it's just a picture of a girl on the cover. There are some sunlight things going on, but there is nothing really all that special about it. This book is about the Spanish Civil War. It is historical fiction, but again, I have not read it, so I don't really know if it's any good or what is going to happen. Now, I have to admit that I'm also not that massively impressed with this English cover because it's also very much a person on the cover, but I feel like at least it has some more details. You can see the dress. It has a nice, you know, yellowish color, which I think is just, yeah, a bit more than this over here. It's just like a white-ish girl, and it's just, yeah, there's nothing really going on. And on the English cover, there's also not that much going on, but I feel like it has a bit more character and a bit more atmosphere, if that makes sense. So again, I think I prefer the English edition. The Dutch one just hasn't that much going for it. And yeah, I do hope this book is good though, because I have not read it, but it sounds interesting. Then the next one is also a very hyped up book, and that is The Invisible Life of Eddie LaRue by V.E. Schwab. So here we have the UK edition. We also have the US edition, which looks a little bit different, but I definitely prefer the UK edition, and that is the one that I own. And then here we have the Dutch cover. So in Dutch, the book is called Het Onzichtbare Leven van Eddie LaRue, which is again very much the same thing, a literal translation. And in this case, even though I can already tell that I prefer the UK edition, I also really like the Dutch edition. Mostly because it isn't just a picture of a person just put on it with nothing going around. It actually has like this beautiful illustration of this carved bird, which is again something that is central to the story because I have read this book, so I do know the story in this case. There are some like tiny stars. I do love that it's just black with this beautiful sort of illustration in the middle, and then I feel like it definitely has some atmosphere and something that draws you. But at the same time, I feel like it's no match for this UK edition because in this case I love the details going around. I love the font of it, I love the coloring, and it's just, oh, it's so beautiful. But I do think that the Dutch edition in this case definitely has something to offer. I think it does. Again, I'm looking down because there is my phone, but I do think it looks interesting. It looks like something I would pick up. I guess there's something to say for the fact that the Dutch edition is a bit more simplistic. It's just, you know, you're black with some illustrations, and it is something that I feel like would draw your attention if you did not know what the story was about. But again, the UK edition is so pretty, so I will choose this one. And yeah, overall I feel like the original English editions are usually prettier, but it's just in this case I think the Dutch edition is a good one as well. And then for the final book of this video that I have found is Everything I Never Told You by Celeste Ng. This is the English edition. I believe the cover is the same in the UK and the US, but again, not 100% sure, but maybe, I don't know. And then this is the Dutch edition. So I feel in this case, the editions are very similar because both editions are just a plain color and then a girl like swimming or diving into the water, which is also something that is relevant to the story. So I guess good job there, it does make sense. But again, I would give the winning points to the English edition, mostly because the Dutch edition, I don't know, again, that is sort of my general idea that the Dutch editions don't really always put a lot of effort in it. Even though the idea of both of these covers is the same, I feel like the English edition does a bit more. Like, it's not just a pitch black, it's not just like a bland color, it is blue but with some texture in it, with some like white spots and stuff. And also in the English edition, the font is so much more interesting. It is a little bit more, you know, it has some more character. In Dutch, it's just like your regular basic font of the title. And even though I do like black books, I just love it when things look like nice and orderly. I do think again that the English edition is prettier. Also because it has like some orange on the side, so there's a bit of color. I don't know if the English edition has something on the side because of course I only have the, you know, pictures from the internet. So with this book cover you can see that again they were very much going for the same idea and that there isn't a massive difference. But still I prefer the English one, so maybe it's just because of the books that I've chosen this time around that the English ones are better. But yeah, it's always a hard choice, but I think I prefer this blue edition. It's just prettier. Also one of my favorite books. It is very good. I very much recommend it. And that was it pretty much for me comparing some Dutch book covers to the original English versions. I feel like I haven't been all that positive about the English editions, or not the English, the Dutch editions this time around. And maybe that's because I've already used up some of the beautiful Dutch editions in the previous videos that I did, and I did not want this one to be a complete repeat. I wanted it to have some new ones. But overall, I can understand why Dutch editions usually just have the English cover but with like a Dutch title on it, because I feel like a lot of them, when they do change the cover, they are a bit low effort. And to be honest, I will always choose the Dutch, no, not the Dutch, the English edition regardless, because I prefer to read in English. I don't really like to read translations all that much. So for me, when it comes to buying, it doesn't really make a difference, but it's still nice to compare them. And I hope you thought it was nice as well. So please let me know if you have enjoyed this video, if you liked it, if you want me to do another edition of it, if I can scrape some original Dutch book covers enough of them to do another edition of this video. But anyway, this was pretty much it. Again, hope you liked it. You can always leave a comment, or you can like this video or share or whatever. I would always really appreciate the support. And hopefully I will see you again very soon in one of my next videos. Bye!